Zack G.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar.
Baby, there's no other superstar, you know that I'll be.
I'd like to welcome y'all to the life of a star. Yeah, superstar that is.
Myles B.
We are not the same, I am an alien. I just do my thing, now you're in love with an alien.
Zack G.
Myles B.
Check us out on our brand new Tumblr at zackgandmylesb.tumblr.com. It's been a while, hasn't it, Myles?
Yes, it has, man.
I know. Anyways, I promise it's going to be good. We got a great new show packed with plenty of new trials and adventures. Are you ready for this, Myles?
Born ready.
Check this out.
So, dude, you're taking this whole podcast thing way too seriously. I mean, yeah, it's ZGMB Reignited, but no one's gonna hear it. Maybe, okay, of course, Lindsay's gonna hear it. You know, Lindsay's friends, Ashlyn, that Priscilla girl who supposedly lives like 2 houses down from me.
That was funny.
My mom might listen to it, but I mean, you're taking it way too seriously, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's what they said about the iPod, and look at where we're at now.
Good point.
Anyway, so since the last episode of ZGMB, we've both gone to college. It's been a year. We're now sophomores, or we should be sophomores. Are you a sophomore, Myles?
Yeah, I'm a sophomore and a half.
Yeah, same here, same here. Anyway, so throughout my first semester of college, I've had some pretty awkward situations, but I'm going to tell you about my most awkward situation. So I had a 3-hour art class, which, by the way, we're going to talk about those. Just 3-hour classes in general. So I'm in this class, and, you know, I don't know anybody. I'm new to the school. It's like the first 4 or 5 weeks of school. No one's gotten to know each other yet. It's an art class, and it's 3 hours, so no one even pays attention. So, I mean, it's intro to art, like.
Yeah, well, was it kind of like art in high school?
No, it was like you learn about like Shakespeare, you learn about the caveman, you learn about the Egyptians.
Oh, that kind of art?
Yeah. So we're doing this art thing, right? And it's the day of the test, first test. So I'm like, you know, so nervous for this test. I mean, you know, I studied all night.
Yeah.
I need to, you know, it should be an easy class, and I want to get an A in a 3-hour class. So I'm talking to this guy, and he seems like real artsy. He's, you know, dressed up. You know, he has a little satchel thing, and he has like the, what is that thing called that the French people wear? The hat?
Oh, Kangles.
Yeah, he has a Kangol on, and it's like, you know, this guy looks like he knows art. So I'm talking to him like, hey man, you know, when did the Egyptians do this? Why is the pyramid this shape? And he's answering them like off the back, like this guy's a genius. So I'm like, yes, I'm totally gonna pass this test. So, you know, the class was structured where you come in, you take a 30-minute lecture, take an hour for the test, and then you finish, you know, whatever of the lecture. That's how it went. It was like 30 minutes of like somewhat whatever review / you know, showing you different images just so you can remember it before the test.
I hated having the test in the middle of the class.
I know, it was so pointless because you couldn't leave, and if you left, you got counted for a full absence.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so when we get done with the test, I'm like so excited. It did so good. This guy totally, you know, really gave me the edge on that test. So I sit back down and talking to this guy, and I'm like, hey man, so, you know, on number 7, what did you put? Or was it this pyramid was this? And so we're talking about for 30 minutes. And so it comes to a point where there's about an hour left in class, and I start to get real awkward. Like,
yeah?
I feel like I'm being looked at. And, you know, I'm sitting, like, probably in the 5th row, and there's, like, 20 rows behind me. So I kind of disregard it, you know? I'm just like, you know, maybe it's just, you know, I did really well on the test. It's my first test in this new school.
Yeah,
so I blow it
that's
off.
what it kind of feels like sitting in the front row of anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I blow it off. So we're sitting down, and all of a sudden, I hear a paper rip. And I'm like, okay, that's odd. Like, I've never heard that before in a college class. It's
Never
usually
heard a paper rip before?
No, usually, you know, you're taking your notes, and you're respecting other people's privacy. I hear like a lot of paper ripping.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm, you know, sitting there, and I have my left hand on my knee, kind of like open. It's not like a fist. I'm just like, you know, relaxing my hand and, you know, taking notes with my right hand. So I'm sitting there, and the guy next to me starts moving, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. Like, I mean, you know, my gaydar is going off, but, you know, he seems like a normal
Wait,
guy.
how is he moving? That would
like
trigger your
he's
gaydar.
kind of like, you know, getting like, well, his outfit in itself is triggering my gaydar, but I mean, he's like sitting up in his chair like he's, you know, about to announce something. And so I'm like, okay, I hope he doesn't say anything stupid because I'm sitting next to him and everyone's gonna look at me and be like, ah, faggots. So I'm like, you know, I can't be in this crossfire. So he doesn't get up. Instead, he hands me this piece of paper, and when I mean hand,
He was the one ripping the paper?
Yeah, he was the one ripping the paper. And when I mean hand, it's not like, hey man, here's this paper. He grabs my hand as if he's going to hold it, and places this paper in the palm of my hand.
Is there something you want to tell me, Zach?
No, check this out. So I'm like, okay, like, why is this guy giving me his trash? So he, you know, he nonchalantly goes back to his seat, doesn't say anything.
So he had to get up to do that.
No, he was like right next to me, but he had to like reach over and put it in my hand.
Okay.
And so I look in my hand and I'm like, okay, why this guy give me his trash? Like there's a trash can, 5 seats down. I look in my hand and it says his name and his number.
Oh.
And I'm like, now it's kind of like I would imagine if I was camping in the woods and I see a bear, I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I would freak out for a little bit and then I would try to think of a plan.
How do you even react to something like that?
I just sat there. I looked straight at the teacher. I didn't even take notes. I was just so like weirded out.
And you want to look too.
I wanted to look and say, "What is this?" but I didn't even know what to say. So I just completely ignored him. I walked out of the class. I talked to Lindsay the whole time on the phone because I didn't want to get raped by this guy.
Yeah.
I just completely avoided him. And every time he'd come to class, he would look at me. I would be in the back. I started sitting in the last seat.
Get back.
He would look at me and he would just stare at me. It was like the creepiest thing ever. It was kind of like those monster movies when the monsters chase them and they make eye contact and it's like, I'm gonna get you. It was exactly like that.
So is that why you transferred? Because it was too gay there?
No, that was actually at Texas State. So inconveniently I couldn't transfer again. But I mean, I'm definitely never taking any art classes again. I'm gonna sit in the back. I'm not gonna talk to anybody. I'm not gonna shower before art.
But you also shouldn't take 3-hour classes because they're really boring.
Yeah, exactly.
And you never know, a gay guy might hit on you.
Yeah, and a 3-hour class is the worst class to take because literally you get there and my attention span is about an hour 25. That's I can give full attention.
Yeah.
And after that you start getting on Facebook. And then you start missing notes, and then Facebook gets boring, and then you start texting, and then texting is boring.
You go look at all the Yahoo articles?
Exactly! Story of my life.
You read all 45 Yahoo articles?
Yeah, and then you're like, crap, there's no more left, so I have to, ghetto bootleg it and go to a different website.
Now, it's that feeling after you've been in class for an hour and a half, and you look at the clock and realize you still have that entire length of time to go.
It's like that awkward moment where you're like, man, I've been here forever, and you look down at your watch and you've been there for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
That always happens to me. Anyways, Myles, so you were telling me that you went to a rave.
Oh, yeah, so anyways, my advice would be careful who and where you party at college, because obviously that's going to be a big deal when you're off at school, but where you party and who you party with is going to be
Definitely. You really got to pick and choose your people. You got to take care of your drink. You don't want to get roofied, especially if you're a guy, because that is, I've known people that got roofied and nothing happened, but it was just the horrible aftermath. They woke up the next morning and didn't know what happened.
I can't imagine.
Anyway, tell me about your story, Myles.
So yeah, it's the third day of school. It's already the weekend. We start school on a Wednesday. It's Friday. We're thinking of what to do. There's what we call a UTD Friday at my school. There's not a lot of partying that goes on, so a lot of Fridays are just spent wondering what's going to happen that night.
I wonder if schools that start with the letter S have STD Friday. Maybe. Anyways, so what were you saying, Myles?
Anyways, it's Friday night. We're all thinking what to do. We say, why not check out this club called Afterlife, right? We thought it was a club.
Seems legit.
Yeah, Afterlife.
A legit name.
So my roommate, who's crazy, is like, you know what? We should get some supplies for the club. We'll just say that. Supplies.
Bandages and whatnot.
So it starts off once night falls and everything. We find out how and where to get the supplies, and something seems kind of shady about the whole process of how we're gonna get it. Okay, we're gonna meet at this place called Raising Cane's. We're gonna wait in the parking lot.
Wait, time out. What place is named Raising Cane's?
It's like Chick-fil-A on steroids.
That doesn't sound like Chick-fil-A. Anyway,
it's so good.
Oh, really? It's actually pretty good? Okay,
it
so
is.
it's a restaurant then.
Yeah, it's a restaurant. We're gonna wait in the parking lot of a chicken restaurant.
Is it completely dead empty and some guys gonna pull up
the
and
thing is, why would you pick there? Because that's where everyone from the school goes to eat.
That's the spot.
Yeah, so it's like, why are we gonna meet up there? But we do it anyways because we just want to have a good time. So we're waiting in the parking lot for 35 minutes, and it's already 10:30. Okay. Tell me why a black Suburban, all black, decked out, rims black, black tint,
so
everything,
sketch.
pulls up right next to us. Okay. We're like, okay, who's gonna go in there and get it? Because they call us once they're there. Biggest game of rock paper scissors I've ever played. So the loser would have to go get it.
Most epic game.
I was like, please don't lose, please don't lose. So my roommate Ben, he's the one who he loses. He has to go over there and get it. So we're like, all right, Ben, just go in there, get it, come back, everything will be straight. He gets out of the car, gets in the van, bam, Ben fucking drives. Oops, Ben drives away.
Wait, Ben drives away with the car?
The van drives away.
Oh, so he's in the car and the van drives away.
Yeah.
That's
so
ridiculous.
We're like, did we
just witness a kidnapping?
Yeah. So we don't really know what to do, so we kind of just wait in the car to figure out maybe he went to go get everything or something.
Wait, time out. You're friends with some stranger in some sketch
two
black
drug dealers, strangers in some black Cadillac.
And your first reaction is, let's call the cops?
No, we're like, because what are we gonna tell
Yeah,
the cops?
exactly. Like, hey, we're gonna buy some supplies. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we technically didn't buy them, so you can't really charge us with anything.
I mean, honestly, I've only been living with Ben 2 days. I don't even know him.
Oh, okay. So this is the first week of college then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, all right, well, hopefully Ben didn't get kidnapped, because that would suck.
Okay.
20 minutes later, he comes back. Everything's all fine. We have everything. So we're going to the spot.
So
called
he wasn't.
Afterlife.
What did he ever tell you what he did?
He just told me they drove back to some place. He waited in the car. They went in the house, came back, gave him everything, drove back.
Was he scared?
He said he was scared
Until
out of
he
his
got.
mind.
Oh, okay.
Until they got to the house and he realized nothing was fine.
Okay.
Richardson's a nice place. So getting to the place was just as hard as getting the supplies was. You know, this
Getting
place.
to the actual club.
Yeah, it was so like in the middle of nowhere. You know how huge Dallas is.
Yeah.
The Dallas Fort Worth
A lot of
area.
empty space.
Just the middle of nowhere. Once we finally got there, my first impressions of the place. Oh my goodness, it was like total anarchy. You drive past the gates and there's just like naked,
Woodstock.
naked girls everywhere. There's like it's 2 barns put together is what makes up the place, right?
Okay.
And this loud rave music pumping out of the place, you know.
Okay.
And the parking lot's all dirt, and you could see people doing all kinds of drugs, like stuff you wouldn't even imagine you seeing in real life. Like I saw someone shooting up, like all these people shooting up on their cars, and all the cops there were just oblivious to it.
Okay.
It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. So we finally get out, we take the supplies,
Uh-huh.
you know, and that's when we start having our first problems with my roommate Ben. Right immediately after he takes said supplies, he just falls to the ground. The ground's all mud and dirt and sticks. He
That's
just
disgusting.
falls.
Yeah, party
face
foul.
first. Can't even like control himself. So we
Okay.
get him up, falls again. He keeps falling. We can't even get to the gate. So we wait for him to come to.
Okay.
Once we finally do, we get to the gate. He doesn't have enough money to get into the club.
Fail.
Yeah. So we have to sit there and like hustle our way to get into the club, just waiting for people to give us
How
dollars and
exactly
dollars.
did you hustle?
You know, you'd go up to someone, hey man, you know, my roommate, my friend, he doesn't have enough money to get in. You got $1 you can give us for like 25 minutes.
Okay, so
Embarrassing.
you hustled your way in for how
So
many
once we-
dollars?
It was 25.
Oh wow, that's a long way to hustle. How much money did he have?
He bought $13 because
What is he 8? What is he going to the candy store?
He didn't realize that $13 was for girls with bikinis only. That was like the girls with bikinis price.
Ah, you know a place is sketch when they're charging girls in bikinis money to get in. That's
Exactly.
a sketch place.
It was like, and so you go in and there's just like still total anarchy and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
But there's people literally having sex on the floor, and
Wow.
it's like
Usher was right.
It's exactly what I thought.
Whoever that was.
Yeah, so we're just walking around enjoying the club. I'd say 25 minutes after we get in, we can't find Ben. 4th problem that we've had with Ben since we got there.
Damn.
Lost him in some shady, like, total anarchy rave bar, right?
Yes, an Animal House. You feel
Yeah. And on top of that, I lost my wallet.
Oh,
Keep in
wow.
mind, once we got in, I had a little altercation with someone, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, I bumped into him, he was talking smack, he was obviously loaded on something. You know, so was I.
Okay.
Okay, so I feel like the whole time I'm in the club, someone's following me around. So I'm trying to avoid him the whole time because I don't want to start anything else.
Okay.
Tell me why the person who was following me around the whole time was just some
Ben.
guy trying to give me back my wallet.
Oh,
I
wow.
dropped
You're
earlier.
like avoiding this guy. He's
Yeah.
like, all I'm trying to do is give you back your wallet.
Exactly, it was intense. But
Okay.
once we found Ben, you know, we got out of there. The sad part was, since we were so gone when we got to the place, we couldn't remember how to get back or where we were.
Okay.
So it took us another 3 hours to get back to it.
And how far was the distance, like, if you were...
Yeah, if we would have just been normal, we could have gotten back in 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
We literally drove all the way around Fort Worth.
So let's recap. Don't talk to gay people, especially if you're straight, or if you have your feeling of gaydar go off. Please follow it, Myles.
Don't use illegal supplies before going to a place that you're unfamiliar with or know nothing about. And stay
so-
away from slacking roommates.
And if someone's following you, they're either gonna rape you or return your wallet. This is ZG&B. We'll be back with the next couple stories.